Have you ever heard of a young person who used the internet to spread the word of God, and is now on the path to sainthood? It might sound surprising, but this story is real. Carlo Acutis was a teenager like any other. He liked video games, loved technology, and had a normal life. But there was something about him that made him different from many young people his age: his unconditional love for God and the Eucharist. At a very young age, Carlo realized the internet could be a powerful tool for sharing his faith. While many used technology just for fun, he decided he would do something bigger. He created a website dedicated to Eucharistic miracles from around the world, cataloging extraordinary events that prove Christ's real presence in the Eucharist. But how did this young Catholic make such a lasting impact on the Church? What made him a model of holiness for our generation? And most impressively, what was the miracle recognized by the Church that led to his beatification? In this video, you'll learn the extraordinary story of Carlo Acutis, and understand how he proved that sainthood is possible even in the digital age. Stay with me until the end because this story will surprise you. And take the opportunity to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and comment. Did you already know about Carlo Acutis? Carlo Acutis was born in 1991 in Italy, and from a very young age, he showed extraordinary faith. While many kids were growing up without much interest in religion, he developed a deep love for God, and especially, for the Eucharist. He used to say that the Eucharist was his highway to heaven. But Carlo wasn't a kid out of touch with reality. On the contrary, he led a life like any other teenager. He liked to play video games, surfed the internet, and taught himself how to code. He had friends, had fun, and enjoyed the simple joys of youth. The difference was in the way he saw the world. From a young age, he had a clear mission: to use everything in his power to spread the word of God. If the internet was how people connected, why not use it to bring God to more people? This mindset made him a true pioneer of digital evangelism. Even though his life was short, Carlo left a huge legacy. He had a saying that summed up his view of the world: everyone is born an original, but many die as copies. He didn't want to be just another face in the crowd. He wanted to live his faith to the fullest, and that's exactly what he did. And from this desire, he created something that still impresses the Church today. But what exactly did Carlo do to become an example of holiness? That's what we're going to see next. Carlo Acutis understood something that few people in his time realized. The internet wasn't just for entertainment. It was also a powerful way to bring faith to the whole world. And he decided to use it for something big. Even as a child, Carlo started to learn computer programming on his own. He didn't want to just use the internet. He wanted to create something that would help people get closer to God. And that's how one of his greatest legacies was born: the Eucharistic Miracles website. Carlo spent years researching and cataloging Eucharistic miracles recognized by the Church throughout history. His goal was simple, but powerful: to show the world that the Eucharist is truly the real presence of Jesus. His website brought together information, pictures, and stories of these miracles, making it a true treasure of faith accessible to anyone with an internet connection. But he didn't stop there. Carlo also used his social media to talk about God and the importance of prayer. He encouraged his friends to go to Mass, to go to confession, and to seek a closer relationship with Christ. His faith was contagious. Carlo's work was so powerful that even after he passed away, people from all over the world kept visiting his website. Today, the things he created are used in catechism classes, churches, and even at the Vatican. If a teenager was able to spread the word about Jesus using the internet, what's stopping us from doing the same? That's a question worth thinking about. Carlo Acutis' life was marked by a strong faith and a clear mission: to bring people closer to God. But at 15, his journey took an unexpected turn. He started feeling unusually tired, and soon the diagnosis came: acute leukemia. Faced with this news, Carlo didn't despair. On the contrary, he accepted his illness with impressive serenity. He said, "I offer all the suffering I have to go through for the Pope and the Church." Even weakened, he continued praying and trusting in God. His greatest wish was to receive the Eucharist until the very end. His health quickly got worse. In just a few days, Carlo was in the hospital. When he realized his time was near, he said, "I'm ready to die, because I've lived my life without wasting a single minute on things that don't please God." On October 12, 2006, Carlo went to be with God. But his story didn't end there. On the contrary, it was after his death that the world began to learn about his life and the example he set. He showed that being holy isn't something far off, but it's something we're all called to do, even young people. And it was right after his passing that something amazing happened. A miracle that would change everything and pave the way for him to become a saint. And that's what we're going to look at now. The Catholic Church requires a proven miracle for someone to be beatified. And it was in Brazil, thousands of miles away from Italy, that an extraordinary event took place. In 2010, a 4-year-old boy from Campo Grande, Mato Grosso do Sul, suffered from a serious pancreas disease. Doctors thought it couldn't be cured and his family had lost all hope. But faith changed everything. The child's parents learned about Carlo Acutis' story and began to pray, asking for his help. During a church service, the boy touched a relic of Carlo, and something amazing happened. He was healed immediately. The tests confirmed the impossible. The disease vanished without a trace. The doctors were baffled, with no scientific explanation for what happened. The case was thoroughly analyzed by the Vatican, and after a long investigation, the Church recognized the miracle as authentic. This miracle paved the way for Carlo Acutis' beatification, which took place on October 10, 2020, in Assisi, Italy. On the day of the ceremony, his body was displayed for veneration, dressed in jeans and sneakers, just like any young person of our time. Now, Carlo is just one step away from canonization. But what can we learn from him? What does his example teach us about holiness today? That's what we're going to reflect on next. Carlo Acutis showed us that holiness isn't something far away, just for monks or saints from the past. He showed that anyone, anytime can be holy, even a teenager who wore jeans, played video games, and used the internet. His love for the Eucharist teaches us that true happiness is found in God. Carlo understood that the world offers many distractions, but nothing compares to the real presence of Christ. He attended Mass every day and said, "The more we receive the Eucharist, the more we become like Jesus." Carlo also showed us how to use technology for good. We spend hours online these days, but are we using that time for something that brings us closer to God? He used the internet to share the gospel. What about us? What are we doing with the tools we have? Carlo also taught us not to waste our lives. He used to say, "Everyone is born an original, but many die as copies." The world pushes us to be like everyone else, but God calls us to be unique, authentic, holy. And now I ask you, what can you change in your life to get closer to God? Did you already know Carlo Acutis' story? Comment below and share this video so more people can learn about this incredible story of faith. Carlo Acutis' story proves that sainthood is possible anytime, anywhere, and at any age. He lived his faith intensely, knew how to use technology to spread the gospel, and left a legacy that continues to change lives. His most famous quote sums it all up: "The Eucharist is my highway to heaven." Carlo understood that true happiness can only be found in God, and he teaches us that, instead of searching for meaning in temporary things, we should build our lives on what truly matters. And now here's an invitation for you. If this story inspired you, share this video with someone who needs to know about Carlo Acutis. Let's spread this message together and remember that holiness is for everyone. Go ahead and give this video a like, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. What impressed you most about Carlo's story? I'll be checking out the comments. See you in the next video. Do you want to understand the prophecies shaping the future of the world? In the ebook Catholic Prophecies, The Future of the World Revealed, you'll uncover powerful messages from the Bible, saints, and Marian apparitions. Most importantly, you'll see how they connect to the times we are living in. Don't be left in the dark. Get your copy now. The link is in the description and pinned comment.